From my neck like I'm little weak. We run like a paraclete. It's on earth, but it's where I be. Money over my hands down. Here lies young, getting paid, but never take a loss on my hands down. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my hands down. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the hands down. Too late, you already there. Imagine when you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream. Cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. But your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda set the standards in the tear down. Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to it's talking, it's hustling me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now. No reason to doubt, it's clear to see. All eyes on me, 400 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it. In public, hated or love it. The underdogs will lick the swabs. It was written in my diary, the start of war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. This the glamour life, you still not a player. You ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice, I'm super duper fly. Used to keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping, see you at the crossroads. Money over on my hands down. Here lies young, getting paid, but never take a loss on my hands down. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my hands down. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the hands down. Too late, you already there. It was written in the children's story. Their life's a so what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could tell me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the genesis. Dead presidents, drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days. Throw your get money, quiet storm, have it thoughts. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the I'm a player on the late night tips. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog, to the skull, ignorant. Can I live? Still film it, kiss to death, friend protect your neck. 3 boys in the Cadillac, grave digger, kiss to death, friend protect your neck. She ain't on the 3 boys in the Cadillac, grave digger. Money over on my hands down. Here lies young, getting paid, but never take a loss on my hands down. Only take a when I'm dead. I be gang 3 times on my hands down. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the hands down. Too late, you already there. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome to 9 to 6. You a shook one, breathe easy, know the ledge. I'm your, what's that? I smell. Let me count my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for my strictly for my survival of the fittest. That's the sign of the police. I'm in deep cover earth, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil will.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in just in an absolute freefall, losers of 7 in a row.
And this is where you turn to your best players and look at them and say, can you guide us out of this? We've got to be better than what we've shown.
A former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. He'll be dropped at the 30. With a shifty move, got him a couple extra on the play. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Cook. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. A give. This is Cook. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Handoff comes to Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Defense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 66 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rush this year. That means something in today's NFL.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
From the gun on third down, McCann. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You got to let them.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Yeah, this will get them all the way inside of Jacksonville's 10. That one goes for 36 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. If you hit enough crossers and underneath.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On 1st and 10, McCann. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there at 22.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the cameras. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They start the drive with Cook. And an alley to run. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Holding offense.
So a decent game,
Still
all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Cook following the penalty. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Now Cook. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And now let's see how the young rookie bounces back. First drive and interception. How will he handle it?
And I think this is where your leaders step up for you, right? Your veteran guys put a big arm around him. All right, guys, had one. Don't worry about it. Let's get out there and let's roll. And I'm also eager to see what the offensive coordinator is going to do. How much confidence does he have in him? Does he go safe now, or does he continue to run the full game plan?
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits 000. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-0 is our score. More from Jacksonville after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, McCann. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And now out comes Minnesota. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And it's incomplete.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
And that hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, here's your bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Telvin Smith coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it down to the 32. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about it on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side, knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
From the gun, McCann. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second down, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. 3rd and short yardage, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Started to look like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd down, McCann. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking to throw. McCann. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Got an open man. It's Aitman. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
The quick slant, good for 8 and a 1st.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well. But
a moot point there as they were able to connect. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll throw again. Cousins. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
What part did they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. Carlson now to kick this one away. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more. Try
and for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Following the interception, Cousins finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down.
Holding offense.
This might push him back further. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Cousins. Looking right sideline, that's complete. They get a good chunk of that penalty yardage back. A gain of 15. 2nd down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Cousins now on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. First down, here's Cousins. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Marcel Aitman as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Ohio!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, third quarter. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
Looking to throw on second down. McCann over the middle. It's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Throwing on first down. McCann. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
On first down, McCann. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the gun on third down. McCann. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
This is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Now a play fake here on first down. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Well, one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
A second down throw for Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Throwing, Cousins to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The Vikings on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Cousins. And that is incomplete. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And they'll run it here. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, McCann. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, McCann. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Back to throw. McCann looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and just like that, it's 3rd down. From the gun, McCann. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. They run it again with Cook. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. And the man to bring him down was Cyrus Jones.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Vikings on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw on 2nd down, McCann. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11. Yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. Around the NFL, 3rd quarter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And the Falcons have moved out in front. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Ohio!
On 1st and 10, McCann. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a and now it's blocked. This is going the other way. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now? Much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A 1st down throw for Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite
Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Cousins on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he's got a couple more downs to play with.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Cousins from the gun on third. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Throwing on first down. McCann. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Flex round!
On first down, McCann. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. The Jaguars on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Flex round!
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly what he's done. Love seeing that happen simply because you know a guy has struggled, and now he's found a way to make things better. That's pretty good stuff right there.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. On 1st and 10, McCann. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make this a second down. Operating from the gun, McCann, flush to his right. Wide open receiver complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, a 22. From the gun, McCann, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars get a score closer.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
To throw, Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs right side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Cousins now throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will be taken at the 13. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing on first down. McCann is going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
On first down, McCann firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Flex round! Flex round!
Looking to throw. McCann. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jaguars are back within a score. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
Well, look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right. Agreed. 7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Throwing is Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to throw. McCann. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. Looking to throw. McCann. And he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting the lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Here's Cousins. From left side on target to Thielen. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. Now Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Cousins to throw. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
And now out come the Jags. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. On 1st and 10, McCann. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So from the 30 down, Jacksonville, the passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. On 1st field. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Flex round! Flex round! Throwing again. McCann. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Third down, trying to get a little bit closer. From here, the field goal would be 55 yards. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
So now the onus will fall on the shoulders of Josh Lambo. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So now the onus will fall on the shoulders of Josh Lambo. This a long one from 54. It looks good, and it is good. From 54 yards away, he bangs it through. And the Jaguars have won the game. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Jacksonville, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tennessee Titans come to town. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2-10. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
It's one of them ones, man. You just in the car, man. It's like when you in the car, you just think about everything, man. Definitely when you by yourself and you just cruising on the highway, man. Yeah, it's got me thinking. On that cap, swerving through traffic, listening to traffic. My windows ain't tinted, so notice me. Four braids, Yankee fitted, yeah, know it's me. I'm everywhere comfortable, but I'm still attentive. A young with money will make offended. I ain't flashy, I'm classy, but